Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Ricky, and today I am making a video on how to set up a basic, cheap, and inexpensive saltwater aquarium. So, I'm assuming you came here because you saw a cool saltwater tank, or you're just interested, they just look interesting. So, you want to set one up. They often look pretty hard to us, at least they did to me when I first started. Thought they looked really amazing. It was pretty intimidating. They look really complex and difficult, but I'm here to tell you today that they're not that hard to set up. So, to begin your saltwater tank, you obviously want to start with a tank. So, my advice for tanks are the bigger is better. So you want to get the biggest tank you can get, since the biggest tank you get, the more stable your water parameters, and therefore the easier it is to maintain your tank. Smaller tanks may seem like they're easier, but trust me, they're actually a lot harder. You'll struggle to keep your water parameters stable, so I highly recommend getting the largest tank you can get. So now after you have your tank, you're going to want to get some live rock. The reason you want live rock is because live rock is basically the most important filtration in your aquarium. Live rock is basically the biological filtration. Water flows through the rock where beneficial bacteria live in, and they basically convert all the ammonia, nitrite to safer nitrate. And this is very important for your fish and other inhabitants in your aquarium. So, you want to get a decent amount of live rock for your aquarium and make sure it's porous. And yeah, that's basically about it for your live rock. And you can just aquascape it however you desire. Now as to sand, it isn't necessary, or any type of substrate isn't super necessary. It's completely optional. It's all about aesthetics. So if you don't want to go sand, you want to go bare bottom, you can go ahead. It'll actually be easier to maintain. But if you want to have a nice sand bed, you can definitely get one. So for your equipment, you're going to want to have a heater, since, well, saltwater fish and corals, most of them are tropical, like warmer tropical temperatures. And you're also going to want to have a wave maker or a power head, circulation pump, because most saltwater fish, corals, and they all like circulation in your water. And it helps move the water through your rocks, which is very important for your bacteria. So after you have your power head and your heater, you're also going to want to have your filter. So for filters, it doesn't really matter too much. As I said, the most important part is your live rock. Your filters can be whatever you want, really. You can have it hang on the back, a canister, a sump. It's all personal preference. I will say that canisters are a little harder for saltwater aquariums, since they're basically nitrate factories, which is not really good, and they're just harder to maintain. I personally have an AquaClear 70, which is pretty easy to maintain, and it keeps my tank pretty clean. So that's been working pretty well. Just run some mechanical sponges in there and a little bit of biological media, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, that's basically all you need for your equipment. And obviously, let's not forget about lighting. I personally have Galaxy Hydros, so that in the future I can get corals. You don't really need to go all out on lighting unless you want to get corals, obviously. It's all about personal preference. So now you have your tank, all your equipment, your aquascape that you want. Now you want to make saltwater. So for saltwater, I personally recommend instant ocean sea salt. So basically, you just want to follow the instructions. I'm not going to go too in-depth in this video since I want to keep it short. Basically, just follow the instructions for creating your saltwater. And the water that I recommend using is RODI water, which is 0 TDS or 0 total dissolved solids in your water, which is basically pure water. So it's the best for your saltwater aquarium. Now this water you can make yourself or purchase it at your local fish store. It isn't necessary to have this water, but it is highly recommended and it can help you get rid of or avoid many problems that you would encounter otherwise. And to measure your salinity in your saltwater aquarium, another piece of equipment that you'll need is a hydrometer. Now a hydrometer is used to measure the salinity of your water. The recommended salinity is 1.025, but hydrometers aren't necessarily the best tool for measuring your salinity. They're not always very accurate and reliable, so I personally recommend using a refractometer, which is a little bit more expensive, but it is a lot better, and it's just so much more accurate than your hydrometer. After purchasing my refractometer, I found that my hydrometer was off by about 0.03 points, which is a pretty big deal. It wasn't very accurate. It was close, but not quite. So getting a refractometer to measure your salinity will help you out a lot. So now you have your tank, your aquascape, all your equipment, your water. You're almost ready. Now basically what you need to do is get through the nitrogen cycle in your aquarium. So the nitrogen cycle can often take a pretty long time, since it does involve creating a nice large colony of bacteria in your aquarium. So basically one popular method is the shrimp method, which basically involves adding a dead shrimp to your aquarium so it can release ammonia, which will then get converted to nitrite and eventually to nitrate, which can all be measured using an API test kit, which is also highly recommended. Or you can always just test your water at your local fish store so you know when your tank is fully cycled. But that's basically the shrimp method. If you're impatient like myself and you don't want to wait 2 months or a couple weeks to add fish or other inhabitants to your tank, I do recommend getting Instant Ocean Biospira, which is basically bacteria in a bottle, which will enable you to add fish as soon as you add that bacteria. So yeah, that's basically what I did, and my tank has been running pretty well. Just added the Instant Ocean Biospira, and I was able to add my fish relatively early. Here you can see my pistol shrimp and the little goby. Just wanted to point that out. Really get to see them, and that was pretty cool. So now you have your tank cycled, you have your equipment, you're basically ready to add your livestock. So now you're basically done. You've set up your saltwater aquarium. It's cycled as long as you have 0 ammonia, 0 nitrite, and a little bit of nitrate, which can be removed from water using water changes. Basically now you can add whatever fish you want, obviously as long as it fits in your saltwater aquarium. I personally just have at the moment these 2 clownfish, Ocellaris clownfish, and my pistol and goby fish pair. It's a pretty simple tank I have. Hopefully we can get some more fish, corals. But yeah, that's basically it. You can go a lot more complex. There's definitely several other components, equipment, livestock. There's just lots of things you can go into. But I just want to make a simple video on how to make a basic saltwater aquarium. Just go into the basics. I recommend doing further research so you can go into your setting up your saltwater aquarium with confidence, which will definitely help you be successful. Yeah, I just wanted to make this video, show you how it isn't too difficult to set up a saltwater aquarium. It's actually pretty simple. It doesn't have to be very expensive, and it's just a journey that I definitely recommend. It's very enjoyable to have a saltwater aquarium. But yeah, guys, just wanted to share that piece of knowledge. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed already and you would like to see future videos, please do subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, and share the video. Thanks for watching. Bye.